with this video, I just have a couple little things I want to mention. Ryan, Because Daddy, if you guys haven't been following or keeping up with his channel, make sure to check him out. S14KAT build, big into drifting, really cool guy. He actually helped me out with some sticker designs, and this is what we came up with right here. So let me know what you guys think about it. I think it's pretty rad. I love the kind of whole vibe it has to it, and well, basically just want to figure out like who would be interested. I want to kind of figure out and gauge how many of you guys would want one before I just go ahead and place a huge order. I don't know if I need 100, do I need 500, do I need 1,000? So before I get into buying them, before I go ahead and buy them, I just kind of want to get a gauge, see how many of you guys would be interested, and we'll go from there. So that's the first thing. I'm super pumped. It's kind of a really awesome way that you guys are going to be able to help me with the channel, so I can get more. Wow, this camera's shaking like crazy. So I can get better content for you guys more frequently. That's everything that I make from, like, you know, stickers or content, whatever, goes back into you guys. So hopefully you guys can help support me. Let me know what you guys are thinking. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, you guys gotta help me get my buddy Evan from Throttle. His YouTube channel is so close to 5,000 subscribers. He's got a pretty gnarly mustache right now, and he's keeping it until he gets to 5,000. So it's gonna be interesting to see how wild that thing gets. But definitely go ahead and make sure you check out their channel. He has an E36 M3. His buddy has an older 911. You probably may have seen him on TJ Hunt, stuff like that. So make sure to check him out, guys. That's my kind of whole intro for today. He's the owner of Throttle. Huge automotive online marketplace, so check that out. Link will be in the description if you guys want to sign up. It's free, and buy and sell some pretty rad parts. So on to the video, boys. Alright guys, well, as you guys can see, it's a little bit of a different layout today. We made a nice little destination here for the video, and obviously, I don't know if you guys can even tell, but we are recording on the iPhone today, the iPhone 7. I'm gonna give it a shot. Hopefully the stabilization is okay. The nice thing is, like when I'm recording myself, I can actually see myself with the screen and the front-facing camera. So we're gonna get in today's video. As you guys can already tell, we're gonna be just going over the build and just kind of the parts, and more so almost even how much I have into the damn thing. And I almost don't even want to think about it, but you know, she's a gorgeous car, and it's one of its own, and totally worth it. So what do you just say? We just hop right into it, and we'll start with the motor. Alright, also, if you guys haven't seen my whole Honda hood mod video on how to do this to your 240, make sure you guys check that out. Link will be either in the description or probably just popped up, and if none of those things happen, just check out the videos on the channel. You guys will find it pretty fast. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Mighty 20. So I'm basically just gonna go over the motor from front to back, and just kind of show you guys, kind of give a rough estimate on price. It's give or take what I've paid, and obviously I won't be giving you a price on every nut and bolt. So just kind of compensate for that if you guys are thinking for it for yourself. But let's just start out with the first thing, and the first thing is our G2 Carbon cooling panel. I actually partnered up with G2 Carbon for a video for them for this piece. So if you guys are interested for something like this for your car, it works with any S13, S14. It's a huge game changer as far as keeping your engine cool. So if you guys an RB, JZ, LS swap, definitely something you guys are gonna want to check into. Now, in front of that, we have our, can get you down in there, just a front mount, obviously 3-inch on both sides. That's going up, and right behind that we have a Griffin tucked radiator, which is a custom setup. This was never meant to be in this car. I decided to go this route because I didn't really want to pay the $800 or $900 for a chase base setup, and this works just as fine, fits amazing. Obviously just a little bit of fab work needed, but this is rad. And now right behind we obviously have our cooling fan. Now just going back to the long block itself, this is actually the second RB20 that I had purchased. Now the first one I had bought, it actually spun a bearing. It was a used motor. I bought it locally. It lost oil pressure, and I spun a bearing. Long story. If you guys want to hear, it's actually a pretty interesting story, to be honest. If you guys want to hear that story, make sure to drop it down in the comments below, and we'll go for a drive, and we'll have a little story time. So this is the second RB that I bought. So I basically kind of meshed the two together. So I took the head from my first RB, and I took the block from the second RB, because the second RB I actually bought from an importer came with a bent valve. So I mean, I got stories on this build. So if you guys are interested in stories and just hearing stuff like that while we take a little cruise, let me know, and we'll for sure go all over it. So long story short, we got the whole head machined and, you know, basically just all into OEM factory spec again. All the clearances are just awesome. The block is untouched, and we also have ARP head studs along with an OEM head gasket, which was put in almost 3 years ago now. And it's just been an absolutely just a dream of a motor. Now moving on to the exhaust manifold side of stuff, or I guess the just exhaust side in general. Now this is the third setup turbo I have on this car. Obviously the RB20 came with stock turbo, then I upgraded to RB25 turbo, then we went to the Borg Warner S300 turbo, and now we are chilling with the Precision 5558. Now as far as the exhaust manifold, I'm actually running the T3CX Racing manifold. It is their new thick wall manifold, and it's actually very, very nice, surprisingly for the price. It's held up great. I've spoken to many people who beat on these cars day in and day out and have these manifolds on track cars, get these things glowing hot, and they don't have any single problem with them. So, you know, I'm totally cool with it. It's not equal length or anything like that, but it does the job. Then we're moving back to our downpipe. Now this is the second downpipe, well I guess technically third downpipe setup that we have. Well, actually no, second. Obviously first we had the Screamer pipe with the factory setup turbo, and now we have our full custom 3-inch downpipe, which we will kind of get a little bit of work done here. This was all last minute stuff, just to kind of get, because I mean, you guys can check out the whole dyno video stuff yourself, but we'll go over that later. We have a tile 38mm wastegate, with a Screamer tube. Like in total, I have almost, I think, over $20,000 into the whole build. When you know, calculate 2 sets of wheels, you know, 3 different turbos, couple downpipes and stuff like that. So all in all, I kind of took a whole price of everything. We're around like $22,000. So just for a general idea, you know, that's what we're working with. But man, it looks good. Holy cow. I hope this video is going to be a little bit interesting for you guys. I was going to kind of do it like a driving along video, but I kind of figured you guys will want to see it while we're doing it. So then we also just, here is just our electronic boost controller, which I still have to kind of mount up a little bit better. Brakes are all, the master stuff is all factory. And then obviously we just have our intercooler piping, which is all custom made. That goes into that side as well. And then going to our, this side, we also have our tile 50mm blow-off valve, which sounds absolutely incredible. The head is all stock. Like I said, just the ARP studs, head gasket, the motor is pretty much stock. Now as for the fuel side of things, we have a custom RB20 top feed fuel rail, along with some pretty old, not the best, Bosch EV1 750 fuel injectors. I went ahead and installed some braided lines, inline fuel filter right there, and just looks a whole lot better in my opinion. For the intake manifold, this is just a eBay Japtec. That was the company that I bought it from specifically. They take an eBay one from China or wherever, and they actually just machine it just a little bit better, so the ports are nice and smooth, and it's just in general a little bit better product. Obviously we have just, these are like some ISR radiator hoses, and then for cooling, I mean, that's pretty much it. We just have a Mishimoto thermostat in there. We have just a catch can setup, which is pretty basic right now. I will be kind of eventually going to an AN line setup and making a really nice kind of catch can setup in this corner. Also, we have a SARD fuel pressure regulator. Also, just in general for the wiring, we have the Wiring Specialties harness, front and lower. However, it's been modified totally by me. Lower has all been tucked. It's all moving inside the car. Speaking of tucked harnesses, we also did a full fuse box relocation, which is now in the glove box. So as you guys can tell, I mean, normally you have a fuse box in that corner and in this corner, and as you guys can tell, we don't have either of them, which is super nice. It makes it look very clean. And then obviously I think I forgot to mention, we have a turbo blanket just to keep the heat down. It's actually amazing how much those do help. So that's pretty rad. I did have my downpipe wrapped, but I took it off because it started to look pretty crappy. Now as far as the transmission, it's an S14 transmission. It is also paired with an RB20 lightweight flywheel, as well as an RB20 stage 5 competition 6-puck clutch. Drive shaft is factory. We actually have a 180SX limited slip diff. The exhaust is all straight piped. We actually have the, like I said, the custom downpipe goes into a test pipe and then out into some 3-inch blast pipes. So that's that as far as the whole hot side. Now also, before I forget, the motor mounts. Those are McKinney motor mounts. They work great. Factory subframe. Everything lines up pretty great. Now a lot of you will know that not too long ago this was running on this tune and it wasn't running that great. Well, I guess we never really got it tuned properly. We just couldn't find the right tuner for it. So now just recently we switched to the ECU Masters EMU. So it's just a pretty awesome setup, guys. Like I'm so stoked on this. And I think last but not least will be the engine bay. We obviously got that, well, I painted it myself. All work, by the way, is done by me. The only thing that really wasn't done by me was the TIG welding, the powder coat, obviously. Oh yeah, powder coat of the valve covers. That was obviously done when I initially got the motor. I've had those forever and I absolutely love the red. And then yeah, so we got the whole engine bay painted. Make sure you guys check out those videos if you guys haven't. It's the midnight blue from an R33 GTR, might be wrong. LP2 is the color code, and it just looks absolutely phenomenal in the sun, especially. Not too sure how the camera's gonna, you know, show it, but it's crazy how different it changes just depending on the light. So yeah, it just, and all okay. Battery relocated, and for the engine bay, guys, I'm pretty sure that's about it. Now, if I missed anything, feel free to comment in the comment section below. I'm super responsive down there, so make sure you guys go ahead and ask your questions. Very friendly. Even if you guys just have a question on the build, go ahead and do so. And if you guys haven't even commented, if you guys are new, drop a comment, say what's up. Let me know what you guys are driving. I love to know what my subscribers and followers are into. It's just real cool. I mean, I think that's pretty much the overall gist of the build. Like I said, I tallied everything up in total, you know, including all the parts that I've accumulated, all the phases I've gone through, has been over $20,000. I think 22, just over 22. So, and that doesn't include, like, you have to also compensate. I mean, that doesn't include like silicone couplers, clamps, bolts, hardware, just hoses. It all adds up so quickly. I guarantee you I have probably 25 all together, probably maybe even more. So for those of you that are like, oh, you know, how can you spend, you guys have probably just never built a car. Especially, you can build a car for a lot cheaper than this. But me personally, I don't really want to use eBay parts. I don't really want to just cheap out and stuff like that, because in the long run, it's not worth it. If you guys missed the whole dyno day video of this car, she's putting down some nice power, really safe, really reliable on pump gas. So make sure you guys check that video out. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do some cruising videos for you guys. I got a turbo mic set up, so we're gonna get some really nice shots for you guys in a nice little area. So the nice thing is, though, we got to come back here real soon and get some nice little shots, you know, like once the sunset comes down here, get some nice glamour shots. I wanted to make this video because now that the car is quote-unquote done, at least with the motor, we have a couple things I just want to do, like oil cooler and just little basic tiny things that I don't need to do, but I would like to do. Like, that's nice where I don't need to do anything anymore. The car is done, it's tuned, she's awesome. Gonna do it, guys. As always, make sure you guys subscribe, share, like, comment, please. It helps me out more than you guys even know. Just a simple click of that like button would just change the game for the channel. It'd really help me grow as well. Hopefully, you know, the channel starts to pick up a little bit now that the car is done. Like I said, if you guys could just share with your friends, it helps a lot more than you guys think. So thanks again. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Later.